Wow. What'd you guys think? So excuse my notebook, I get a little nervous sometimes. The UK Guardian called you the Rockstar Whisperer, right? And there's a lot of rock stars in this room. I mean, I could just start calling out names, but I'll refrain because of time. Basically, tell us of a time where your practice of self-care helped turn a whole video shoot around.
I told this story yesterday. This is an example of a TM story. I went on a video shoot, was super jet lagged. We all flew in. It was for an artist called Bass Nectar and a rapper called Lupe Fiasco. And the video wasn't going well. A ton of technical issues. It was a disaster. And everybody about 12 hours in was literally laying on tables, nobody talking to each other. It was pretty bad. I went out into my rental car and did a 20-minute TM session. And I came back. And you know how you wake up the next day and you're like, okay, cool. And I came in and I was super rubbing people's shoulders and making jokes and come on, let's get, I rallied everyone. And Lauren, AKA Bass Nectar, was like, dude, what did you do? What happened? You just changed the whole thing. I said, I went out and meditated. I did TM in the car. He goes, that's crazy. It was he noticed it. He actually vocalized it, and it was, there's been a lot of moments like that.
Yeah.
But to me, I always think TM is you go do it, and then you basically get to wake up and it's a different day.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. We're going to open up for Q&A.
Starting with what we already have here, there are a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurial, and especially in a very large talented group of musicians here and other types of artists. I was wondering, starting from a small town but with our little extra gift, what would you suggest we do to be able to organize that so that we can move and completely support all these talented musicians so they can get gigs and become known?
Sure. To me, it starts with that vision thing. You always have to imagine yourself not just in your town. So really specifically, I don't say, oh, I want to be big or national. I think it's important to sort of pick where you want to be. If I was a musician here and I was talking to them, if I'm the musician, you're the musician, pick where you want to be. Do you want to be in New York? Do you want to be in LA? Do you not want to be anywhere like that? Right now, we live in an internet time where you can be anywhere in the world, but you have to just think outside of local. So I personally would create a lot of content. Content sort of drives the music industry, and the internet is the vehicle for that, short bits of content. Everyone I work with comes from usually nowhere, and it's because they've made songs, put them up on SoundCloud, and they've made small videos, and they use Instagram and Twitter, and they keep putting content out. And you do a lot of tagging, to get people to notice you who aren't. And honestly, it's so specific depending on the kind of artist and who they are, and then you have to get resourceful. We live in an age where you can look up everybody. You can look up every booking agent in the world, you can look up any record label, you can find who runs it, you can find their email address, you can DM them on Instagram. I can't even imagine having that when I started my company. So it's you kind of have the whole world that you can contact, and people who really, you pick a few artists that you think that you're or that would like you, or their fans would like you, and you go, it's not hard to find out who their manager is, who their booking agent is, who their label is, and contact them and start sending your stuff to them. So that's the short answer. There's a lot more to that, but that would be a short answer.
Really nice that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. This is super cool to meet you. I was wondering how important genre and niche marketing is for musicians, because especially if you have a sound that's what do we sound like? It's without a genre,
Right.
How annoying is that? Or how do you go about that when you don't sound like anybody? Or
well, that's a cool thing. So, if that's what your deal is, great. You find a few things that are like you. It doesn't have to, they don't have to be like you, but would a Billie Eilish fan like your music, even though you don't sound like her? Or would a, you figure out a few things that are close to you, and you kind of put your eyes on them, and keep putting things in the world. Does that help? You kind of have to reach to what's closest and try to hit them. Yeah. And make sure people know you aren't like other people without saying it. And everyone thinks they're not like anything. Right. And then you hear them and they sound exactly like 10 things, So you have to convey that. One thing I will say, since it seems like there's musicians in the room and you would be reaching out, please, this is important. Listen, don't send some essay that's 27 million words long to whoever you're trying to hit. They will not read it. They're busy, especially if you're hitting real people. Send your link. Hi, here's the link. One line, maybe two, and make it look like it's not coming from you. And then that's it. Don't give the whole giant thing or it'll get ignored. Just put what you need to say right up front.
We have another question here, Amy.
Hello, I'm from East Los Angeles, and I moved out here in February. And you just said to be brave, so I just thought I'm gonna go home for the summer, and I'd like to intern for you. My name is Amy Reyes, and I hope that my big yellow dress, you'll remember me from Iowa, but also from Los Angeles as well. Thank you.
I love that you just did that. That's so good. That's what you need to do.
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget me.
So when we're done, come give me your email, and I'll put you with the person. And I would love to have you intern, so I think unless we're full, if you got up and did that, I need someone that's going to go out there and fight the fight for us. So you guys, I can't stress enough how important interning is. It's really important. And I've met some young people who are like, I just got through all this work in college. I already interned once. I'm not going to go do that for free. I'm like, cool, good luck. I really, interning, when I say everyone at my company intern, I'm not kidding. My business partner, the woman who now shares my business with me and is one of the most respected publicists in the game, super respected, she was an intern who came up to me when we threw parties and was really aggressively I need a job, I need to, she was very persistent. If she had just gone off of asking me once or twice or 3 times, she wouldn't be there. It wasn't because I'm a jerk, I'm just busy. Busy people have a hard time handling their own lives, let alone, some things they need to get done, like get interns. So please be persistent. If you're not persistent, I literally don't know how you can start a business and thrive. I just don't.
Awesome. Thank you. Amy, I think the whole community can vouch for Amy and who she is. So we're looking forward to the stories and the Instagram updates. We have time for one more quick question. Please.
Okay. Hello. Obviously, TM is an incredible tool for reducing stress and inspiring creativity. But I'm just wondering if you also encourage your clients to do certain dietary things or exercise.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody. I'm sort of like a walking infomercial in honor of Mr. Harrington. Yeah, because people's lives change, As someone who used to smoke and drink and eat nothing but fried food and chili cheese fries for 7 straight years, and now I'm vegan-ish. I have fish once in a while. And exercise and do all the things that you're supposed to do. It is like night and day. And what happens, and I introduce this to my artists a lot, I will encourage them. I got this one guy, I have a few guys who just literally didn't drink water. And I was like, what do you drink? Well, I drink a Mountain Dew and I have some Red Bulls, and then I drink, some Hennessy at night or beer. And I'm like, what about water? We're made of water. And I had this amazing rapper. He was, his name is Freddie Gibbs. And he called me, he's like, Kat, I've been drinking water for a week. It feels awesome. I had another A$AP Rock used to always get sick on tour. They all get sick on tour because when you travel nonstop and you don't sleep, I think the number one problem with musicians and artists being unhealthy is sleep. They don't sleep, and they don't sleep at the same time every day, and sleeping is so important. So then you get sick, and then you're always sick, and then it starts this whole thing. And then you have to go on stage, and so then you start drinking because you got to do something to get through. And so I have introduced a lot of people. I found like packs, like Oxylent or the vitamin C packs are good to throw in someone's bag, or I Amazon everybody all these things. And you start there, and pretty soon, next thing you know, 6 years later, they're like, oh yeah, I'm vegan.
Wow.
Cool. Like I bet you feel great. You can't sustain the garbage for long, and it affects your creativity, and it actually affects your ability to work when you're unhealthy. So most of my bigger artists, I find, are actually on that tip. A lot of them, like I'm running through my brain of the ones, like they eat really well, they eat really clean.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's it for time, but we have way more coming towards you guys. Kathryn, thank you again.
Thank you.